make sure we're good here. We're on. We're good. We're ready. You made it. Chris Russell made it. You got... Nobody's ever gotten lost coming out here except for you.
I don't know how anybody could not get lost. It's so dark. I mean, like, I got away from construction cranes and Washington, D.C. traffic to come out to the boonies to find that there's no street lights. None.
There are street lights up that way, but right here in front of the house,
well, that doesn't help you.
It doesn't help.
As you're driving by and somebody's right up your are we allowed to curse?
You can say whatever the hell you want on
right
the show.
Up your ass.
Yeah. You say ass on your show
true.
anyway.
That's true.
So it's not really any of. There's no rules here. This is what's different. This is loose. There's no clock for you to kill. There's none of that kind of stuff.
Well, that's a good thing.
We're good.
I mean, can we do construction crane updates on the 8s?
We can do that. Oh, PJ, if PJ started watching,
exactly.
I know he will miss that from back in the day. Though.
Oh, man.
Did you bring any bags or boxes?
I have bags and boxes in my car.
So once the game gets out of hand, which is almost a guarantee tonight,
you and I can play. Like a 13-point spread or something like that?
It's down 11 and a half. I still wouldn't touch it. You know what really worries me about this? The Dolphins are 0-2. The Dolphins are reeling. The Dolphins haven't won in Buffalo since 2016. The Dolphins have won one of the last 14 games against the Bills. But yet somehow I feel like they're going to cover in this game.
They're wounded is what you're saying.
Yes, they are
and
wounded.
Every number and every trend would tell you no chance, right?
Of course.
Never mind to cover. All right, maybe they cover, no chance to win.
Right.
At the end of the night, they're probably going to win this game.
And that's what drives me nuts about the Thursday games is that they're so unpredictable, though I always bet the under.
Yeah.
I'll always bet the under because the short week, guys. Do you like the Thursday night, the short week, and having the extra game?
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it for media, like when it's not your team that you cover, and for me, the Commanders, I don't mind it because, it gives me something extra to talk about on Friday. It gives me something to watch on Thursday night if there isn't anything else, going on in life. But like last week when the Commanders played on Thursday Night Football, it's hell because you play Sunday afternoon. It's really Sunday night before you even can like get past what you saw Sunday afternoon, you know, and you're at the stadium all day. And then it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I guess Thursday show for us, 3.5 days where you're trying to watch the all-22 from one game. You're trying to learn about the opponent. And I knew a lot about the Green Bay Packers, but you don't know everything. It's just, and for the team, for the players, they got to travel to Green Bay. Do you know, when I stayed in Green Bay with the Commanders or then the Redskins in 2013, we stayed in Appleton, freaking Wisconsin, which is 50 minutes away from Lambeau Field.
It's like going to the Super Bowl in Phoenix. Yeah. It's not Phoenix. You stay in Scottsdale or you stay in Glendale or you stay, it's just, it's
or
always
in San Francisco, if you don't stay in San Jose, which most teams do, and you stay in San Francisco, it's like 50 minutes, 45 minutes to Santa Clara.
That stadium's not actually close to San Francisco at all. Thank God the Commanders Stadium is going to be where it belongs, though.
It is.
So glad that that's happening.
Unless a certain somebody decides to derail things.
No, nothing else is going to be derailed. It's over now.
No. You're missing the point. Do you remember the threat that the elected president of the United States made? And I was told by several people today, not anybody that's like an expert, but people that know more about politics, that he can still very much derail it if he wants to.
Well,
I don't think he will, but you never know.
I want politics to stay out of my sports for the love of God. Just stay out of one thing. Everything's become politics. Can we at least keep sports separate from politics?
That's okay.
I would love that.
It would be great. I think it's impossible in 2025. I know
it is. I know it is.
And you know this. Like anytime you're dealing with a stadium, it's automatic politics. But then when you're dealing with Washington D.C., the Redskins name, the current elected president, all of that stuff.
It's just utter chaos.
That's a great word for it. It's just havoc.
I mean, even with the last little minute of that coming in, I was thinking, oh God, they're going to derail this stadium with guys trying to slip provisions into deals in the last minute. All right, we got 5 minutes. We got to have Dewey make her pick. Can we make Dewey make her pick? Do you know how to, Michael, see, we can talk behind the scenes. This is the best part.
Yeah.
Do you know how to send me the link so I can go on my phone and we can film Dewey? Send the add a guest. We're just going to do this live on here. This is the beauty of this. Yeah.
I mean, Dewey makes a pick like what? Tony Kornheiser's monkey?
Yes, Dewey will. just like got great reference. And you were in the ESPN 980 shirt. This goes back to our old days.
At one time, we used to work together at the station that I'm on now. That you're
has a name,
sort of not on.
Sort
that
of not on. I was on 106.7 The Fan.
Yeah, you were on tonight. I was listening to you on my way up when I wasn't on the phone.
What's that? Yeah, just send it to me, my email. We'll go through and then we'll make sure we get Dewey. It's very important that we get Dewey's 0-2 though. You know, last year Dewey started off 6-0 picking Thursday night games.
6-0.
6-0
against the spread.
No, just money line.
Oh, just straight up.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, she's not old enough to actually bet, so we go just with that. All right. Oh God, is it really? Are we even on?
No, it's to send you the link.
Okay. All right. So we may.
Here, I'm gonna give you your bills.
Let's do this. Beautiful. See, this is called improvising. Your bills, which that's perfect for you.
Yes.
Give this chip to Dewey.
This is how the dog is gonna make the pick.
All right, Dewey, come here.
Because we have. All right, Dewey. Ready?
Well,
let's move this. All right. So you're 0-2. Please pick the Bills.
All right, Dewey.
Do you want Dolphins or do you want Bills? In 3, 2, 1. Which one? No, go the other way. There. Yeah, there we go. We want Bills. We want Bills. Oh, and she's stuck on the mic. We haven't found the proper way.
That's crazy how she turned that down, and
she likes you.
Picked me and the Bills.
You're new here, so she wants to impress you.
I mean, that's
how that works.
That's insane because my dog Bailey would just eat both.
Well,
and ruin the whole segment.
Normally, we have them on the floor, but a certain provider that rhymes with Schmeischmosh has had some issues that I've been on the phone with trying to deal with. So, we're going to focus on you and me.
Okay.
And the rest of this. And Michael's 7 friends that are showing up here later. Michael, by the way, is our video producer.
He's a Jets
He is a Jets fan.
Yeah, there you go.
This is his 3rd time ever as a video producer. He's been fantastic.
Good boy, Michael.
He's learning, and he's now invited all of his friends over. So it may get a little rowdy later.
All his rowdy friends?
All his rowdy friends.
Are here on Thursday night?
They are here on Thursday night.
So I don't know if you saw this while you were doing the Game Day Garage last week, right, for the Commanders and Packers. You were busy working.
Yes.
I was doing not a Game Day Garage. I was actually in a basement on game night.
Basement garage, game day.
At Grant Paulson's house.
Oh, yeah.
And we were streaming live on 106.7, YouTube, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So basically doing a non-garage version of, I think, what we're doing here without the fancy spotlights.
Well, yeah.
Dewey wasn't there picking games.
That's true.
We didn't have the exact same setup, but it was a pretty good setup. So this is my 2nd week in a row that I'm doing Thursday night football on the road and doing a version of what we're doing here tonight.
I have an idea.
This is pretty
cool. We should do another week of that, and we can combine the 2 shows together.
Let's do it.
I think it's worth it.
Let's do it. Now, that would entail, like, everyone from the radio station actually, like, coming up north. They all thought I was a lunatic for doing this.
Oh, you are. You absolutely are.
They said, Grant looked at me, he goes, "You're going to drive home 2 hours at 11:30 at night?" And I said, it's not really 2 hours.
It's not 2 hours.
Guy,
Don't let him fool you.
It's probably 2 hours.
It will be 2 hours. Don't let Grant. See, Grant's trying to scare you. That's the problem.
He was. So and Danny, Danny leaves like if the radio show ends at 6:27,
he's out.
Danny's out at 6:26.
Out the door.
And I saw him walk out the door as I was getting into my car in the garage. The problem is my show had ended 3 hours plus before that. But I had other things I had to do.
You have film to watch. You have podcasts. You have a lot of stuff.
I had payroll to fill out that I couldn't fill out. I mean, trust me, you don't want to fill out the Odyssey. Oh, you're filling out the Odyssey payroll.
Speaking of cars,
it's a nightmare.
Speaking of cars.
Oh, really? You want to talk about
I need to know this because I haven't had a chance to talk to you about this. And your car getting stolen from the garage.
Yeah.
At work.
Right.
At the station.
Right. So
how the hell did this happen?
So it's it's really a good thing, beneficial thing for you that you're able to do the shows from here, right?
Yes.
For the most part.
Right upstairs.
Okay. So you don't have to deal with what we have to deal with. I have to pay $240 a month. To
Oh, I
park
know.
my car.
Remember, at the
Right.
previous network I was on, I paid for that parking.
That's
I was
true.
in
That's true.
in that studio
Right.
5 days a week.
So you know the
don't
garage
act like
very
I haven't
well.
made that drive
that's
every
right.
day.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I'm a man of the people.
So you know $240 a month, right?
Yes.
So is it a secured parking lot? Like nothing can happen and nobody can get in? Of course not.
Right.
But it is an underground garage, right?
Yes.
It has a gate. It has like garage doors that go down and up after certain hours, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is during the day, obviously they leave it open.
Right.
And they have one parking lot attendant who, if the Nationals aren't playing so that they can collect more money, is in their office watching TV, not watching the cars.
That is true.
So I had a 2020 black Kia with a key start.
Okay.
I pulled into the driveway, to the garage at 12:05 on a Friday afternoon, August 15th, getting ready to do my show.
I love that you've got it down well.
Oh yeah, I
there's
remember
police
this
reports and stuff.
because
so,
I've been dealing with this for a month now.
I'm sure you have.
So I drove in, and I had trouble getting in, the armed gate thing with my pass, which had worked fine the day before.
I've had those issues before
so I said,
too.
So I see somebody from Colonial Parking, the parking company, coming out towards me as I'm coming down the ramp. And I said, hey, and I rolled down my window, because I had the air conditioner on. I said, hey, man, I said, this isn't working. I said, you know how to, can you fix it for me or whatever? He's like, no, I can't do it. I don't work here. Da, da, da. And I think what happened was I forgot to roll up my window. So my window was probably like 2/3 of the way down. And at 3:05 on Friday afternoon, 3 hours later, as I watched later on surveillance video, after I found out that my car wasn't where I parked it, and I knew where I parked it, I was on the first floor, right where everybody could see near the elevator shaft. It was not there. There was no broken glass. There was no nothing. My car was gone. I went all 3 floors, up, down, all around for about 20 minutes. Couldn't find it. I was like, whoop, they're playing a joke on me upstairs. Like somebody took my car.
I know you blamed everybody. I thought they listen.
Yeah.
A lot of bits happen in that place.
Yes.
Nobody's gonna hotwire your car and steal it.
Well,
I went over this tonight with Ryan Clary on the show, and I said, let's try to find one person we think that works here that would steal a car. Couldn't think of one person.
I can think of people.
Who?
I mean, I don't want to say their
This
names.
is the perfect place to do it. This is the perfect place. There are no rules here.
JP Finley.
Okay. I definitely could not see JP stealing your car.
But anyway, so I thought they were playing a cruel joke on me. I realized they're not. Okay, they swear, promise. Then I go downstairs to the surveillance or to the lobby desk, right where the security is, and they pull up the surveillance video after the security guard goes down and does another sweep. And we're watching the security video, and sure as shit, at 3:05, while I'm on the radio, actually interviewing Bill, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, they drive my damn car out. And I never saw it. I mean, I never saw it mobile again.
Right.
Because it took 9 days to recover my car in Prince George's County, Maryland, on a Sunday morning at 6:30, after they had incurred and racked up 5 digital speeding tickets, which I'm still fighting.
Of course you are.
And then they did like $13,000 worth of damage to the car. So they totaled it.
Well, you got a new car.
I did get a new car.
I heard it.
I almost crashed it
I
into
heard the
something
hybrid
around
sound
here.
coming up. It makes that whooshing sound. I was
like
like,
the crickets and whatever.
Yeah.
That's
So now that we've gotten started, by the way, I'm glad you got your car back.
Thanks.
I want to point that out.
Yep.
We talked about this before kickoff. It felt like the Dolphins would just make things not make sense. They just returned the ball, opening kickoff to the 50.
Well, and remember, they had the punt return for the touchdown last week against New England.
Yep.
And then immediately gave up the kick return to former Commander Redskin, or actually former Washington football teamer. I don't even know if he played for the Commanders. Antonio Gibson. And now the Dolphins are moving the ball.
The Dolphins are going to score on the first drive.
Just hit a first down to Tyreek Hill, and then a nice little wheel route from Tua to Devin Achane.
Oh, God. Now I've got my phone forcing me to do iOS 26, which apparently everybody says it drains your battery. So I don't want that. I want to jump on the streams. We are streaming right now if you're not watching us. We need to also get this on TikTok too, Michael. I think we'll do that. You know what? I'm going to give you this. Let's get on the old TikTok. Are you on TikTok, by the way?
I think I am, but
you think you are? That's the best.
I don't use TikTok.
I know you don't.
What do I need to see? A bunch of people dance like an idiot?
There's
for?
so much more than that.
That's what
more.
I
Way
mean,
to age yourself, buddy.
That is what TikTok is about.
There's a lot of that.
I mean, my daughter sends me
stuff.
TikToks, and it's all just a bunch of fools dancing like idiots.
Here, you want to put us live on TikTok? We'll go live on TikTok too. We'll do that for a while.
Live on TikTok.
That's like the behind the scenes of behind the scenes. So Michael's running around. So we also have Thomas, who's usually here. He's got you would have loved this, a crazy contraption for his camera. You know that when you see the cameras that are like strapped to people's waist, the whole like, I don't know what it's called, the gimbal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the gimbal. So he's not here today. So Michael's doing everything today. So we applaud him for all his hard work.
Michael.
Getting us live on TikTok. Video producer. He could, but the best part is he's cocky because, you know, he's, 14 at this point, whatever you are. I know. But he got real cocky about, I know TikTok. Yep. 2 weeks in a row, he can't handle the simple tripod. He can't figure out the tripod. So it may take a minute for us to get on TikTok, but he's handling 4 streams at once. Yep. I think it's probably best that we help him out here. So, but TikTok is more than that, okay? So don't hate on. Listen, I got forced to get on TikTok.
I thought TikTok was going away. I thought they were trying to take it away,
there's
shut
too
it
much
down.
money in it. No, now they've got buyers. It's going to be. It's always the case. So here we are.
I just saw my guy Mike McDaniel. He's in trouble, as
How
you know.
long before you think he's gone? I think week 8 at the latest.
Yeah, I mean,
it just has the writing on the
wall.
So
I'm going to Madrid and Barcelona for the Commanders in Miami. Barcelona. For the first time ever.
Good for you.
I am traveling internationally.
Okay.
And of course, you know, the opponent is the Miami Dolphins, and I was kind of looking forward to seeing Mike McDaniel, who I used to used to have some fun with. Let's just put it that way. When he was a young Redskins assistant under Mike and Kyle Shanahan.
When he used to be a going out kind of guy.
Yeah.
And then he said, no more.
Yeah, he cleaned, thankfully.
Yeah.
He's done a great job, as far as I know, cleaning up, what have you. I mean, I saw him about a year and a half ago when the Dolphins came in to then FedEx Field and wiped the slate clean of Ron Rivera and then the Commanders.
Yep.
So he's doing great as far as I know, and coaching for his job here. But a good start on the road and a big road win. Now, a long way to go here. If they can get the touchdown,
they're about to get in the end zone.
Yeah, exactly. That would be great.
So the Dolphins are down inside the 5. I knew it. See, I bet the under in this too. I can see what's going to happen.
Yep.
This is what I hate about
smash it.
This is what drives me nuts about Thursday night games is whenever something makes so much sense, it doesn't happen.
So
Bills rolling in this game makes all the sense in the world.
What was the over under?
50 and a half.
50 and a half.
Which was a big number, mainly because the Bills are averaging 35 and a half points a game.
Right.
That's why. It's
but
not
the Dolphins are so pathetic overall. Although they did score some points, obviously, last week. Again, 7 of them coming on special
teams. And that's what worries me is you obviously have the ability, if you're the Dolphins, to be explosive.
Right. But you
haven't got the weapons to do it. Right.
And here, here's the thing. Like, they drove all the way down the field, beautiful passes to Achane, as I mentioned, Tyreek Hill and whatever, and then a nice run, and they get themselves first and goal inside the 10-yard line. And you can sense it, right? A team that's struggling for confidence, even though they've got weapons, and they should be able to punch this in, is going to be like 1, 2, 3, and maybe go for it on 4th and goal and come up empty.
Right.
And then we're going to be like, oh, see, they could have taken the lead. They should have kicked the field goal. They should have scored the touchdown.
Right.
This is why you're 0-2.
It's the one thing I have learned, and you've seen this plenty, is there are guys that may be really great coordinators, but they're not good head coaches. There's so much more that goes involved. They stopped him short, though. I thought there was a fumble for a second there, too. By the way, Tony, did you bet the over in this again?
And I parlayed the Dolphins plus 11.5 and the over.
Attaboy.
Here's the one thing about Tony. He bets the over every week on Thursday Night Football.
Okay.
And the key is always bet the under.
So I was going to say, you always bet the under, but Tony always bets the over.
Tony always goes over. And he sits back there and he just talks shit the entire time about it.
Tony, what's your philosophy on betting the over on Thursday Night Football?
It's a great strategy. It's like, yeah.
I mean,
I don't condone any of that betting strategy.
No offense, Tony, but this is probably why you're a Jets fan.
Yeah.
I mean, it explains it all.
Touchdown,
Dolphins get in. Dolphins.
And the Dolphins get in. First drive for them, too.
They get in.
And that's what I'm saying. This is a week that feels like because it makes no sense, the Dolphins are going to look like the Dolphins that we remember that put up like 70 points against the Broncos.
So you were saying Mike McDaniel. I think you were leading towards Mike McDaniel making a good offensive coordinator, not a good head coach necessarily. It's so
it
weird
feels that way, doesn't it?
It's so weird though, because like last year kind of unraveled on them partially because of injury.
Yeah.
Tyreek was upset. He was, getting arrested one week. He was getting thrown on the ground one week. He was baby momming the next week.
Yeah.
Whatever, and injured a little bit. Jalen Waddle was banged up too, was always hurt, right? So for whatever reason, the magic, the karma that the Dolphins were building in 2023 just didn't carry over to 2024.
No.
Although it started, if you think about it, the first game of the season last year, the game that Tyreek got thrown on the ground and pulled over and whatever.
I remember that, dude. That was crazy.
At Hard Rock Stadium, right?
Yes.
They struggled for about 3+ quarters in that week 1 game. And everybody was like, why are they struggling? And then they made a great comeback. I think they were playing the Patriots, but maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't remember who they were playing. I'd have to check that. But then they made this explosive comeback, and Tyreek had like a 75-yard catch and run, and he did that cartwheel flip and whatever in the end zone, and somehow he got fined for it or whatever. And that was the last time I remember the Dolphins being like, oh, hey, this team is fun.
Well,
this team is explosive.
The weather started getting colder, and they started playing playoff teams, and then everything just melted down. Remember the fact when they were talking about Tua not being able to play in cold weather, and he was like, that he would go practice with his brother in Maryland?
Yeah.
It was like, whoa. You were doing it. It wasn't cold. That's not the real cold.
College
that
Park,
that ain't Buffalo in December.
Park, Maryland ain't Buffalo, and they actually catch a break. And if they win this game,
lucky, yes.
we got to kind of look into that, right?
Yeah.
Because I think they played. Remember the crazy ass playoff game they played a couple of years ago in Buffalo, and they barely. I mean, they went toe to toe with them, and I think they lost like 37-34. Or something like
around that.
And,
it was around
that was with their third quarterback, Skylar Thompson.
Who should not be in the NFL, by the way.
And
terrible.
I don't even know
he
what
still
team.
is.
He's
still with the Steelers, I think, isn't
maybe.
he? I think.
But remember, even in Buffalo. Now I remember the weather not being as bad that day, but I went to school in Buffalo.
You did.
I lived in Buffalo for 7+ years of my life.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. It snowed in late May.
Late May?
Late May.
Damn.
Late May. Snowed. Like really cold. Jeez. Obviously, duh. And very windy too. Yeah. Right? So it made it feel like it may have been like 32, 33 degrees at night, but it made it feel like it was about 13 below because of the wind, right?
Well, that wind chill is they're showing the new stadium now, which I think there's something with this new Bill stadium that's like going to prevent a lot of that wind. It's going to
knock it down. They studied the wind direction patterns and all that stuff, and they built, I believe, even though it's hard to see here on the shot that we're seeing, they built part of it to funnel the wind like down or in or something like that.
Those engineers are way smarter than anything you or I could build.
And let me tell you something, from a guy who has spent many a drunk day at Highmark, old Ralph Wilson, old Rich Stadium.
Oh, you're going back.
New Era Field. That's all the corporate names of this place in its final year. As a guy, I watched the 1994 AFC Championship. Check this out.
Okay.
The Buffalo Bills going for their 4th straight Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. You know who was quarterbacking the Kansas City Chiefs at that point?
Was that Montana? Yeah, it would be Montana, right?
Nice pull.
Yeah, I was like, that's Montana.
There you go. So that was the one and only time I saw Joe Montana play in person.
Yeah.
AFC Championship. Then I think it was still Rich Stadium or whatever the hell they called it, Ralph Wilson Stadium. 1994 AFC Championship game. A couple of years, obviously, after the Redskins beat the Bills for the second Super Bowl, and it turned out to be the second year in a row that the Cowboys beat the Bills in the Super Bowl.
It's crazy to think, just thinking about Montana in a Chiefs uniform too, like seeing these guys, these legends late in their careers, like Jordan in a Wizards uniform. I remember going to watch Wizards games as a kid with Jordan. And it's just like it's still weird to think back for some of them, but like Montana had success with the Chiefs. I mean, they made an AFC Championship game. Like he had success late in his career. I mean, Jerry Rice was still really good with the Raiders. You know, it was.
Well, they went to a Super Bowl too.
Yeah,
now, they got their clock clean, but
right.
They went to a Super Bowl. That was the last time the Raiders were fun, right?
Yeah,
good.
It does kind of feel that way for the most part. I mean, they had a few stretches with Derek Carr, but it wasn't very much. Right now, the Bills have to answer here. which crazy too. I mean, look at how much. Oh, Coleman almost had a beautiful one-handed catch.
Yeah, of course he dropped that because I put him into my fantasy lineup right before I left work to come up here to the God's country, as my mom
We're
would
actually
call
not
it.
that
We're
far.
in the middle of nowhere.
It feels that way in this neighborhood, but yeah. So here's the thing, too, though. What I know, this is what always happens.
20 miles.
What happens is,
30.
that's true. You did make it 30, right?
It's a good thing I have a hybrid. I was able to save some
The
gas.
best is that, is you called me. You called me and I knew it. So this is the one thing. Like, everybody's amazed that you're here knowing that you're driving a long distance.
Yes.
And with all the shit we're going to talk to each other, I appreciate you for coming here because it's going to be fun. We haven't done a show together in a while.
Wait, we're going to talk a lot of shit about each other?
Lots of shit.
Okay.
It's going to be fun. And you get to say that a lot on this show, too, which is I know you really love.
I like it.
I know you do.
Uncensored, baby.
See? And
I pretty much almost curse about 10 times on the radio. I have to say a lot of bleepings.
Yes. You got to censor yourself.
Yes.
But I knew it when you called me. I went, uh-oh. And all I could hear is, I don't have my phone with me now. If I had acted out, I've been driving around for like 20 minutes, and there's some stupid jackass behind me on my tail. And I'm like, welcome to Maryland. And it's like, and I can't figure out where I am. And I'm like, how have you been driving around for 20 minutes? No one's ever gotten lost coming here except you. And that's when I went, oh, Chris Russell, driving, traffic, something. It was bound to happen.
Okay, so I had the GPS on. It routed me onto like a one-lane curvy road that had a dead end into.
I have no idea where you
I don't know where, and then I had to get out of that, and then I went back out onto the main road, and that's where I probably passed your house.
Oh, you passed all of this neighborhood. You went down to the end of the peninsula,
right? And I went all the way up.
You went all the way down.
Because I was just following the GPS because I couldn't find any street signs.
Nobody's ever been turned around like that except you. Have the worst luck with driving.
I don't know how people drive in the dark with assholes right up on their bumper. I mean, like, it's not like I could just like hit my brakes and stop and look at the GPS and be. So, I mean, I'm like looking at it. I'm trying to figure it out. I've got it on alert. I've got it on, turn here, turn there, turn there, turn there. One place that had me turn into a driveway of somebody else's house. I was like, what are you doing?
None of this surprises me whatsoever. By the way, James Cook, I bet the over on his rushing and receiving. He's gone over 100 rushing and receiving yards the first 2 weeks of the season. I feel like they're going to – my original thought was they're going to pile it on early. He's going to run the ball. They're going to just run up the score, and then it's going to be – it's going to be Ray like Davis after that.
20 or something like that?
It was like 130-something week one and then a little over 100 week two. But that's why I went rushing and receiving because they use them as both. But then I figured I went over on Ray Davis rushing yards too because you figure they're going to get some other guys involved. But this may actually be a closer game with the way the Dolphins are playing. I will say this.
Cook's got 2 carries for 27 yards already.
He's already racking that up. So the Cook, and now he's paid and he's motivated in the offense. Like they're finally giving him the ball the way that they should, and it's not as much necessarily Josh Allen. But I will go back and just say this one last thing. I can't even imagine the words that you were saying in your car when you got lost. I can just picture you. This asshole's on me, or this guy's doing that, just losing your mind. But by the way,
I was like, come on, Hollywood, where the hell are you?
I'm sure you were so mad at me, and I understand it because if I were in your shoes, my wife can attest to that. I'm not the only one that's an asshole in traffic.
Technology failing and traffic.
Yes.
Oh,
I mean, just the worst. The worst with it. Yet I love technology. I love look at all this stuff I've set up here in this studio.
I could not live without a GPS. So
no one could. No one can read a map anymore.
But I did have to call you actually because there's so many like turns, and then there's the main road out there, and I forgot the name of the main road, 214 or whatever it is. Yeah. Right? It took me literally about 7 minutes to make a left turn because there were so many cars coming constantly. I was like, where am I?
You had by far the worst experience any family member or friend has ever had coming to our house. Because we're really not that far from stuff. It just feels that way. You also got taken the back way, I guarantee. You got taken. I know exactly the way that it took you. And it looks like it's the middle of nowhere, but it's like right out there to the right. We're in like civilization. Yeah. So it just feels that way in the back way and coming into this neighborhood. Anyway.
I would also say this. It would probably be easier to find if it was during the day.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There are so many people that deal with the yelling at the people around them, though. I totally understand exactly what you went through. So Dolphins still up 7-0 here. The Bills are marching this thing up. I'm actually a little concerned betting the under 50.5 in this game. Like, I'm now at the first spot where I go, oh no, is this going to be? I stayed away. I was almost going to get real serious and bet the under on the Dolphins team total first half, but it was at 9.5. And I said, one touchdown and a field goal. They're already going over. They've already got the touchdown. That was too low of a number for me.
But they could literally throw up bagels for the next couple of drives.
Oh, and Dalton Kincaid.
Kincaid in for the touchdown.
So see, I'm a little worried. Tony, this might be your week for the over, buddy. There you go. He's going to be such an ass if this game goes over, too. It's going to be the worst part about it.
Imagine if it was the Jets and they went over. The Jets are – it's kind of hard for them to go over.
It is. Hey, listen, but first week, though, got to think against the Steelers.
That's true.
So he'll come face-painted for the Jets game, though. He goes full face-painted. He goes all in.
Kincaid, when he's right and when he's healthy, right? He was banging. Look at that catch. That's not a great thrown ball from Josh Allen. He has to outstretch for it. And people would say, well, if he didn't catch that, that would be a drop. I never look at that like a catch like that as a drop. That's a non-catch. You get your hands on it. Right. Maybe you could have caught it, but look at how far away from Dalton Kincaid
he had to reach
and
out
lunge
to grab
for it. And then he gets popped there at the end, but he goes in. So,
right. And that's
7-7.
If you look around the NFL now, though, we went back to the day with like Antonio Gates, and it was like, look at this guy, played basketball, suddenly a tight end. Yeah. We had Tony Gonzalez, obviously one of the all-time great tight ends, but we've gotten to this point now where tight ends have gotten so damn athletic that you're looking at them going, half the tight ends in the NFL could be wide receivers.
Yeah, it's interesting because, I think when a different version of us when we were younger, right? When we were doing some shows together, number one, when we were working maybe at 980 the first time, we got to see Jordan Reed up front personally, right? And that's the kind of guy you're talking
Jordan
about.
Reed is
right?
a name that a lot of people that aren't, Redskins, obviously it was Redskins when he was there, that may not even remember, but he was, when healthy, was looked at, it was Gronk and Jordan Reed it was probably only about a season because he always dealt with injuries, but you're right. He was that guy, always hurt. Always hurt.
2015, I think he missed 2 games, but he had his breakout year. That's what led to them winning the division. That's the first year Kirk Cousins is a starter, second year Jay Gruden as the head coach. Now, the division wasn't great that year, but Jordan had a monster year. Everybody thought, okay, this is it. This is where Jordan Reed takes off and jets to the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And the next year, right away, he was hurt. I remember being in, I think it was Phoenix, Arizona, week 1 or week 2. I can't. I think it was week 1. And to open the season. No. You know what? It was like week 4. And he had been hurt already in the previous week, and then hurt for pretty much the rest of the year, off and on, mostly off. I love Jordan Reed as a person, right? It wasn't like it was his fault. It just happens. But that's a perfect example of a guy who had a Hall of Fame skill set, but just couldn't stay on the field long enough. And there's so many guys. We see it at multiple.
The great what ifs all the time.
Sure.
I'm starting to worry about Joe Burrow.
Well, yeah.
We're talking Andrew Luck, Joe Burrow. They're comparing the sacks to Andrew Luck, and there's not one football fan that won't forget the day that Andrew Luck announced his retirement.
Yeah.
I remember where I was. I remember streaming that press conference. We were preseason, and it came out of nowhere.
It was like on a Saturday evening, right before a preseason game in Indianapolis.
Now, I think the difference here, though, is that Joe Burrow is not like Andrew Luck is. He went on to live a different life, and it's like he's that guy.
Yeah.
He just didn't need the spotlight. Joe Burrow is built differently in terms of he loves this, I think, in his own way. So I'm not saying that we're going to get to that point, but what I am saying is from an injury, there are so many great what ifs in the NFL, and the great start that the Bengals have had. Joe Burrow's now going to miss 3 months.
Right.
3 months. This continues to happen with him.
If you think about it, and I guess you tackled Burrow first, right? This is the third.
God, the Dolphins, another big return. They keep getting great field position here.
Yeah. This is the third. Well, kickoff, first of all. We got to talk about that, right? It's becoming almost like a 35-yard gain is nothing.
Good, though. I'd rather have it be exciting than nothing, though.
Right, but if you think about it, a touchback, if the ball goes in the end zone, and you're not Pittsburgh and you bungle it and mess that up. My guy Danny Smith, he must have been mutilating his bubble. He must have been mutilating his bubble gum all day. I'm going to Pittsburgh tomorrow. I thought about calling Danny and said, hey, you want to get together for a beer? And
Look
then
at you name dropping. I'm just going to call the special teams coordinator of the Steelers. No big deal, you know.
I talk to my guy all
I know.
the time, right?
Let me tell you, nobody when he was in Washington loved Danny Smith more than you.
I love a lot of special teams.
You do love a lot of
special teams. If you think about it, right, most of my good friends in the NFL are special teams guys.
It is true.
Ben Kotwico is now with the Los Angeles Rams, right? Who's, bounced around the Vikings, the Redskins, the Denver. This stupid Sean Payton fired him with the number 5 special teams in the NFL last year because he was associated with somebody else. Anyway, long story short, Ben Kotwica's in Los Angeles. Just talked to him a couple of days ago, right? Danny Smith, you mentioned. Who else? I love Graham Gano, the Giants place kicker. Got to hook up with him a couple of weeks ago, right after the Giants were here in week 1. I keep in touch with some of these guys.
You are like the promoter of special teams.
I love people. Them, right? And bad defensive coordinators, as a lot of people like to say, right?
Too.
No offense. Sorry, Jim. I love you still. And Joe Barry, I still love you too.
That's who I was thinking. It was Joe Barry right away. That is your guys. See, I'm surprised Dewey. See, this is the one issue we've got with the mics running across.
Dewey
here.
Dewey
loves to walk up. I'm surprised she hasn't actually just come up to like lick your face yet.
Well, I mean, she did take my Tostitos, whatever.
That was her treat.
As the pick for the Bills. We were talking about Burrow. So 3 seasons cut short, completely mutilated because of injury, right?
Yep.
Whether he comes back at the end of this year or not, which I don't think he will, but whatever. 3 seasons. What has he played? This is season 6, I believe. I believe this is season 6, right? The Super Bowl year last year, he didn't get hurt.
Is
the
it
Super Bowl year and his sophomore.
It would be.
Yeah, because he's been hurt and season ended in 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And he's had 3 seasons where he's actually played the whole bulk of the season. So 6 seasons so far. And he's had 3 completely just cut off by injury, right? So you say, well, he's a different personality than Andrew Luck. Totally agree. It's a great point. The question becomes is when does your body have enough, right? No matter if you crave the spotlight, which I think Joey B kind of likes the spotlight.
Yeah, of course.
You love the money, all this. You love the fame and the fortune. You love competing. You love playing. You want to keep trying. But when does your body have enough? And if he has,
that's what Andrew Luck said.
Yeah. Well, now again, was that because he was a different cat? So meaning, do you have to have a certain type personality to have that short circuit your career? Tua Tagovailoa, who we're watching tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were people calling for his retirement a year and a half ago, thinking he should literally retire after all those
concussions, though. Too.
And that was on a Thursday night. Well, sure, Thursday night football. You're right.
You see it live. And don't get me wrong. Like Joe Burrow's had a lot of injuries that have been painful and hard to recover from. I get all that, but you know how concussions are a very sensitive subject with the NFL. When you see somebody freeze up on the field. So it is different, but you are right. I mean, that is absolutely what people were saying with him, without question.
Tua suffered the first major concussion issue on Thursday night in Cincinnati. I think the next one was on like Christmas Day or whatever after he missed a bunch of weeks, and it was like against Green Bay, and he got like lassoed down and thrown to the ground or whatever. I believe that was the next one. So there was like a span of a couple of months. Concussions definitely are different. So you're right. We should evaluate and treat them differently. But you do kind of like Burrow had the torn ACL that was against the Redskins.
Yep.
And
that was his rookie year.
Chase Young, his rookie year, right? So maybe
that was like 10. Was that?
So that was 2020.
Yeah.
So 2020, 2021, 22,
21 was the Super Bowl
24.
year.
Yeah, so this is
year
6. Okay.
Wow.
So and 3 years short circuited.
Crazy to think it's already year 6.
And then he had the torn thumb tendon or whatever it was.
Yeah, because remember they showed him out. That was that scene with him on the sidelines trying. Yeah, it's every year. It's also. I mean, the starting off has been hard.
Yep.
The Bengals have dug these holes every single year because they've just dealt with those injuries right now.
And now people might say, well, because they worked so hard during camp and because he played in the preseason, it didn't protect him from getting injured, or maybe it led to him getting. No, it didn't. It's a freak injury. He's kind of getting corkscrewed a little bit around. Right. I mean, look, I don't know exactly. You were talking about this on the radio on my way up. You were talking about, I don't know exactly what torn what does he have? Turf toe.
Turf toe, yeah.
Right. I mean, I know it's torn ligaments and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Depending on degree, it's the worst degree that you can have.
Oh, it sucks. Yeah.
I mean,
but it's a split in, isn't it? It's a split in your toe
I
too.
don't know that. I'm not sure about that.
I thought it was a split in your bone also.
You could be right.
Okay.
I don't know.
Clearly, neither one of us are doctors or
to have a
trainers
3-month surgery or recovery,
That's
know
a
it's
lot.
something significant, right?
Right.
But here's the one thing that I would say. Again, it wasn't like when he was running to escape the pocket.
Mhm.
It wasn't on a cheap or dirty hit.
Right.
Like sometimes you can justify those injuries as being just terrible luck in the wrong place. This is terrible luck. I'm not saying that it isn't.
Right.
But I mean, this is just the course of him.
Oh, big run again for James Cook. He's going
throw the-
over so quick. I love it. Yes.
This is just him just trying to, throw the football and make a play, right?
Right.
There's nothing you can do. And everybody that says, well, the Bengals, they've had the worst offensive line by
But they've addressed it, though.
statistically
They have
ranked.
addressed
They have
the
addressed
offensive
it.
line.
They have addressed. Now, they haven't addressed it well enough,
No,
but they have addressed it. And that's the point is people say, well, they look at all these analytics, and I saw Warren Sharp put up something 5 years in a row. The Bengals had either the 25th or worst offensive line. And listen, I'm not going to tell you the numbers are what the numbers are, okay?
Right.
I mean, I trust that they're all right. And I'm not telling you that they're great. But 3 years ago when they were in Buffalo in January in the playoffs and Kenny who is the running back that's now in Houston that was with Cincinnati? Mixon?
Oh, yeah, Joe Mixon.
Yeah, Joe Mixon, not Kenny Mixon. When Joe Mixon was running down the throats of the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs, they didn't have that bad of an offensive line then when they were beating the Kansas City Chiefs. It's just the last couple of years as you've had to pay Joe Burrow, and now this past offseason, Jamar Chase and
Which
T.
nobody
Higgins,
thought they'd pay T.
right?
Higgins to.
Right.
Thought he was gone.
But you can't pay everybody.
Right.
You just can't.
And that's a reason why.
Premium dollar.
That's a reason why a lot of teams won't pay wide receivers, because if you don't have an offensive line that can protect a quarterback, I call it the assembly line of success.
Yeah.
You got to have a play caller. It's going to be, oh, God, here he is. Grant is here. There you go. When you don't have the protection, and then it's the quarterback got to get the receivers, like all these things have to happen. Like you're paying for receivers that aren't getting the football, and then they can't do anything. So
well, and you might say, like, now what, right? Because Burrow's out probably for the rest of the year, if not a significant part of the year.
Right.
I mean, listen, if Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are the franchise wide receivers, it shouldn't be just dependent on one quarterback, right? Jake Browning should be able.
Jake Browning's actually done a really good job for the Bengals when he stepped in.
But didn't he throw 3 interceptions last week?
I'm
pretty sure.
Again,
but you're
because
right.
He
He
stepped
has
into
done.
the situation.
Yes.
The
You could
last
do a
time
lot
Joe
worse.
Burrow got hurt, which
Yes.
was not that long ago, he was great.
No, you're right. You
I
could
did
do a
bet
lot
the Bengals
worse.
money line earlier this week already.
I heard-
Everybody's, and I've seen it. Everything. I love the Bengals. I'll just say this: I love the Bengals this
in
week.
Minnesota against Carson
against
Wentz.
Carson Wentz, and
And-
I know Minnesota's tough.
Yeah.
But Carson Wentz.
See, here's
I've
what
seen enough of Carson
Here's what
Wentz
I
over the
worry
years.
about, right? Brian Flores knows. Hey man,
I know
I can't really count on Carson Wentz in this offense to carry the day,
I
right?
know,
Maybe I'll
I
get lucky,
know.
whattever. I'm going to have to crank it up against Jake Browning.
And that is my that is my worry. There's a reason why the Bengals are dogs. They're also on the road. But I think Jake Browning has not enough people remember what Jake Browning has done as a starter for the Bengals. And that's the reason why I've gone that way at this point with this. So I'll tell you what, right now, looking at the Dolphins hanging in this game, this is not what I expected. Then yet it's also what I expected with nothing makes sense. Here we go. Now the Dolphins have actually made this a game. Though they did punt on their last drive. They're at least defensively too. It's a bend, don't break mentality, it kind of seems like here, because you're watching the Bills march up the field. You're watching James Cook get a lot of touches. Dalton Kincaid's got 3 catches for 41 yards, I think. But like they're not getting to that point where they're getting in the red zone and completely dominating them right now.
No.
So credit the Dolphins for looking like a team that actually belongs on this field.
Well, listen, they've got some pride too.
Oh, yeah.
And in the NFL especially, but you would say this in a lot of sports, but in the NFL especially, where it's one game a week, right? I think you can, for lack of a better term, F with your emotions a lot more than in a day-to-day grind, sport, baseball, every other day, basketball, hockey, whatever. I think you can find a way to look in the mirror and say, there's no effing way we can be this bad.
Yeah.
Come on, dog.
I
We've
know.
got, you know,
I know.
and find a way, even in an adverse circumstance on the road, travel. Remember, this is the worst part of Thursday night football, right?
Yeah.
Not only the guys that can't get on the field in time on Thursday that might have played if the game was on Sunday, right? That's one thing,
Right.
which the NFL will never tell you about.
Of course not. No.
But the travel, think about it. Miami to Buffalo, right? It's almost a 3-hour flight.
Yeah.
That's a long flight on a short week, right?
Yeah.
When your body is still
It's almost
sore
not the
and tight.
drive that you had to get here getting lost.
Exactly. Almost the drive that I'm going to have going home when I get stuck in construction and I have to get routed.
There's no
I have to get routed
construction.
around the Baltimore Inner Harbor to get to Northern Virginia.
Let me tell you something. If you're going around the Baltimore Inner Harbor, you've turned the wrong direction. That I can promise you.
Getting out of here is just going to be enough of a challenge.
It will be easy.
Is there a 24-hour coffee spot that I can stop
There's
at?
no 24-hour coffee, but I can get you coffee and make you coffee if you'd like.
If you
some
can
coffee.
make me coffee, I'm going to take that.
I will make you some coffee.
I need some caffeine.
You will be treated as a guest with free food. Which, by the way, we got Cubans back there.
Oh.
Buffalo chicken dip.
Wow.
We got. So you can get some of that.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah,
do you take commercials on this or no?
We go straight through.
You go
on
straight
this.
through. So what
I
happens?
told you this is different.
What happens if I need a break? Like I'm not used to talking this much.
I know, but you love it. You've been looking forward to this. We usually break at the end of quarters, but
we missed the first quarter break.
Yeah, well, we just keep going. You and I are reuniting here.
Fine.
It's been a while, so we're good.
We're fine. So, like, here's the thing that's interesting, right? Like, I'm literally sitting in your garage in the middle of absolute nowhere, right? In the boondocks.
Definitely not in the boondocks, but it felt that way to you.
And yet, the magic of radio is such that I was listening to you on my way here, right? Now I'm talking to you on all this video. Michael's got it all, Instagram, TikTok, all these apparatuses, right?
Book space.
I mean, yeah, book space. Yeah, my face. what am I, Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson? My snap. What do you call it? Snap face. Snap face.
He called it snap face.
And it's amazing the technology because if you think about it, right? I'm on the radio earlier this afternoon. And now, of course, with the advent of technology, we're able to be heard worldwide, right?
Yep.
We're on YouTube, TikTok. So somebody in where?
Anywhere.
Australia could be watching, right?
Anywhere.
On YouTube.
All around the world.
Or on TikTok, right?
And American sports travel.
It's crazy.
That's one thing we've learned.
Think about how much technology just for us in what we do has changed, say, over the last 10 years.
Wouldn't have even had the ability to sit. Like, you think about YouTube now and TikTok, and people talk about, creators. And, God, what a great
touchdown by Kincaid.
Again, Dalton Kincaid a minute ago, it was great catch. This time, Josh Allen laid it right there for him
in the bread basket,
right there in the corner of the end zone. That was a beautiful throw.
Yeah, I mean, you got to make this catch, obviously, but let's see how tough it was. Because, like I said, the first touchdown was not an easy grab, but this one, it looks. Oh, it's right.
It was right there. I mean,
now does the corner get his hand in there late at the last second?
It looks to me like he just dropped it. Yeah. There might have been a slight.
Yeah.
There might have been a slight.
I think his left arm, the corner number 21, does get his arm kind of in there to alter it maybe a little bit. Now, Kincaid will say he has to catch that, and he probably does. Is that Curtis Samuel?
Or is that Shakir?
Oh, Shakir.
Curtis Samuel's gone now. Remember.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. He's not even there anymore.
He's gone from Buffalo? I didn't even know that.
I don't think he's even in the NFL anymore.
My goodness. I didn't realize they moved on.
Remember when we thought he was going to be Deebo Samuel light?
Yeah. Well, that's terrible on me because I remember watching him last year thinking, Curtis Samuel still got something.
Yeah. There was always flashes, but
think about Buffalo, right? In the last year, they've let go of Stephon Diggs, which I didn't have a problem with because
I think that was the right move. Yeah.
Then
as a Bills fan, you were happy with him gone,
right? Yeah. And then they let go of.
Yeah, all the time. Well, you knew that was going to come in that way, though. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And then he
wears out as well.
And then they let go of Gabe Davis, who had the 4 touchdowns in the AFC.
Oh man, Gabe
game
Davis was
Kansas
the second
City,
coming.
Right, he goes to Jacksonville, gets lost in the sauce there. Now he's back, I think, in Buffalo.
Yep.
I think they signed him to the practice squad. I don't know if he's activated for this game or not. And then they signed Curtis Samuel to help offset some of the losses in that same offseason. And he had, I thought a pretty decent year, but, look, they've got 2 pretty good tight ends when they're healthy,
They
right?
do.
Kincaid, obviously, better. You mentioned the running back. They invested in him.
Mhm.
Ray Davis, I think, is a little bit of a weapon that a lot of
Ray
people
Davis gets plenty of touches.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
and we saw that more last year. It's just tough when you have James Cook. I mean, that's one of the best running backs in the NFL,
Right.
so that makes it difficult.
But it probably
you know?
keeps Ray Davis fresher.
Well, we know in today's NFL, you're not going with one running back.
Yeah.
You don't have these workhorse backs running the ball 25, 30 times a game on a regular basis anymore.
Well, like, everybody's kind of wondering how the Commanders' run offense is going to look against the Vegas
I'm
Raiders
wondering how that's gonna
on
look.
Sunday, and everybody's thinking, oh, Bill's going to get 25 carries. And Bill's not getting 25 carries.
No way.
No chance. I mean,
Not a
I would,
chance.
I don't know what the over-under on his carries is, but if it's 15, I would tend to go under on that, right?
You'll probably see more Chris Rodriguez, you think, don't
Well,
you?
I would think, right? Chris Rodriguez is probably going to be activated on
They
Sunday.
haven't been able to figure out what that running – like, if you're a team that has – it's great if you have multiple running backs that can contribute. A lot of teams do. The Bills obviously do. The Dolphins certainly do too, and they've had that in the past. But you got to figure out what their roles are. Like, Washington hasn't figured out what their roles are. The Bills know what Ray Davis and James Cook is. Oh, what a great shovel pass. Oh, what a great throw and a touchdown. No, that wasn't Kincaid.
And how about this? I want to check to make sure he didn't go over the line of scrimmage, but I mean, Josh Allen
was
is
inches
booting
away
from
going
trouble and running towards the goal. And I thought he was going to just try and barrel it in.
That's again with Josh Allen. You think he's going to go across that goal line just by himself, and then to watch that last second little shovel pass just boop.
Yeah, no, I think he got it at about the 6, and I think the line of scrimmage was about the 5.
He was right on the cusp of going over the line of scrimmage there. So that's going to make it 14-7. Let's see if they get through. Now I think they need extra points. Wait, all right, so 14-7. Hey, listen, the Dolphins at least they're not down 20-0 at this point. What a lot of people thought.
Exactly, and I don't know why again, when somebody gets kicked in the teeth. Yep. And they were better against the Patriots at home last Sunday than they were, obviously, week 1 at Indianapolis. I kind of look at the Indianapolis game as being, mentally they weren't, for whatever reason, emotionally prepared.
Right.
On the road, they obviously honored Jim Irsay. They had Daniel Jones, right? You don't know what he exactly looks like in that system. That was probably more that's a really bad day. Now, I know they gave up 33 points again last week, and I think they were if they give up 33 points and they're almost halfway there, tonight I think they're the first team ever to give up 33 or more points in the first 3 games of an NFL season, which seems like it would have been done before. But I heard that
that's surprising.
I heard that on the Westwood One broadcast, assuming that I heard that okay. So, but either way, like last week, yes, they gave up 33 points, but again, a touchdown of that was on special teams. Right. So you kind of wonder, and that counts, points against.
Right.
That's not all against the defense, right? And Anthony Weaver's a second-year defensive coordinator. And remember, that guy interviewed for the Commanders' head coaching job. He was in Baltimore, right? For whatever reason, when he started interviewing for head coaching jobs, it almost seemed like they didn't want him back in Baltimore. And they wanted to promote the linebackers coach, and Weaver was kind of like, I didn't get one of these jobs, so I got to go somewhere else. And he went to Miami. So
it's just the coaching carousel that we've got now in the NFL, where there's such a separation between like the next hot great thing and then the retread, where sometimes the retread is the better choice because you don't know for sure. Like, we don't know whether Ben Johnson is actually going to be a great head coach. I know he's a great offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
It's too early, and I'm not going to judge what's going on in Chicago now. He's called out their practice habits and all these things. And if you're going to set a culture, you need to do that. But, again, it goes back to Mike McDaniel here. He just may not be a good head coach. But people look at them and say, look how good that offense is. Oh, we want him as a head coach. Well, that may be more on his plate than his skill set brings to the table versus being a really great offensive mind.
Because it's not only just calling plays and designing offense, you have to, whenever you're the leader of something, you have to manage a lot of personalities.
Yes.
Okay. I think that is the bigger challenge for a first-time head coach.
Oh, absolutely.
Than like whatever imprint they might have on defense,
you're
whatever
the CEO
imprint
of
they
the
have.
Entire operation.
Exactly. And I know this, so in my non-radio life, right, I'm a chapter advisor for my fraternity at American University, Phi Sigma Kappa. Okay, the job for me is about communicating with 20 and 21-year-olds and trying to yes, and it makes you pull your hair out, but it's managing all of these different personalities.
Yeah.
Knowing what buttons to press, knowing what buttons not to press, knowing who you can ride, knowing who you can't ride, that same kind of thing.
Phil Jackson used to always talk about that. Yeah. Great coaches, Greg Popovich was another one. Great coaches would talk about how different personalities, you have to treat guys different ways. You can't coach everybody the exact same way. And listen, I love Mike McDaniel. He's great in press conferences, and he's funny, and he's quirky, and he's interesting, and a brilliant offensive mind. But is that personality something that's good for a successful head coach? And by the way, offensive coordinators are so important now in the NFL that's a great job where you can spend a decade as an offensive coordinator where you're getting what you want, you're getting the players that you want. Like Ben Johnson may look around a year or two and go, I should have stayed in Detroit, because he's a hero there. Yeah. He's a hero there. Well, now, again, you take the leap, you take the chance, but it doesn't mean that we've gotten to the point now where elevating yourself to a head coach isn't always the best situation anymore for your career with the value of offensive coordinators. Well,
look at it this way, right? So Cliff Kingsbury had opportunities, and I think he could have gotten that New Orleans job.
I know.
If he really wanted. Yeah. Now, and I still think that was the smart move on his part to not really pursue that and to whatever. That being said, I mean, we don't know how the rest of this year is going to turn out, and if that might take some of the shine off of his star, right?
Yeah.
But that being said, I think Cliff probably discovered something last year that maybe he sort of kind of rediscovered in the 1 year in between Arizona and Washington at USC as kind of like an offensive assistant, where he wasn't even calling plays, right? And that is, there is a joy in not having to answer the media's questions 5 days a week.
Oh, yeah.
There is a joy in not having to talk 1 day a week, right, at the podium as a coordinator. There is a joy in not listening to sports talk radio and go, man, Cliff Kingsbury sucks. Right, but Cliff Kingsbury sucks. He has no idea. Why didn't he run the ball? And I was saying the same thing, by the way, this week, right? And I'm generally very complimentary and very protective of coaches, as you know.
Yeah.
My point is, some guys are like, teams. You know, some guys, if they can make $2.5–3 million, why do I need to put myself in that kind of pressure cooker?
Exactly. And see, that's my point, is that like it's like great example. Kalen DeBoer going to take the Alabama job. You're the guy that follows the guy. Now, it's not an apples to apples comparison here, but like, you're the guy that follows the guy. That's pretty much a lose-lose situation. Now, it's worked out at Duke. You know, John Shire, it's worked out following Coach K. That's worked. But sometimes the situation you're in, the grass ain't always greener on the other side. It may look that way. And again, I don't blame guys that have only been coordinators for taking that leap. It's career progression. It makes sense. They're competitive. They want to achieve a higher level. They want to see if they can challenge themselves more. All that stuff makes sense. But there may be some coordinators like a Mike McDaniel that sits down and goes, dude, I'm never doing that shit again, ever.
Well, so I do think there's also a difference between when you're a coordinator and haven't been a head coach and when you've been a head coach before.
Yep.
Right? Yep. Like, I think there's always this strong curiosity of maybe I'm just the right guy at the right time that can elevate this and turn it into like what Bill Parcells ultimately did with the New York Giants.
Yeah.
I can't say Bill Belichick with the Patriots because he had been a first, but using that as an example just from way back, right? Andy Reid with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Great choice.
I mean, when he was quarterbacks coach in Green Bay, he wasn't even the offensive coordinator. Goes to Philadelphia. Nobody knows who he is. They draft Donovan McNabb. They boo him. And yet it turns out to be a great run. Now, they didn't win a Super Bowl. I got it.
Still, a lot of teams will take the success that the Eagles had with Andy Reid.
My point is when you're Ben Johnson, when you're Mike McDaniel before he got the Dolphins head coaching job, and he was a very successful assistant with Kyle in Atlanta, Cleveland, and then San Francisco. I think you're more tempted by a bad situation and think that you can turn around a bad situation.
Yeah.
I think if you're a Cliff Kingsbury, somebody who has been a head coach before, who knows what goes into that grind, right? And it's a different grind. You might be a little bit more selective about what you do. Now, Andy Reid chose to go from Philadelphia right to Kansas City.
Yep.
And it worked out great, right? It worked out
boy, did
tremendous.
it ever. Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't always work out that way. George Seifert, that's a blast from
You're
the
going
past,
way back. Yeah.
won a Super Bowl or two Super Bowls with the 49ers, retired, then came out of retirement, went to the Carolina Panthers when they were an expansion team, I think it was, or maybe it was to replace Dom Capers. He went like 1-15.
There,
I think he was like 1-15 or 2-14, and it did not work, right? And he was gone 2 years later. I mean, so like every situation is different. Like Mike McDaniel, I have no doubt if he gets fired in Miami and he goes to another team, and if that team's got any talent, maybe it's the Washington Commanders.
As a head coach, you're saying, or
as an offensive coordinator.
So, did you hear me saying that, or are you saying this on your own?
I didn't.
Okay, so I said that.
We had this discussion amongst people.
So, if Cliff Kingsbury were to be offered a head coaching job this offseason, maybe
which is certainly not out of the question.
Maybe Mike McDaniel's on the market, and he comes to Washington and sees Jaden Daniels in that offense as something that he can add his wrinkles to. And we obviously saw what he can do as an offensive coordinator. I think it's the perfect fit because Cliff Kingsbury is going to take another head coaching job at some point. So then the question is what is the succession plan that's there? Because we know a lot of people may not know this, but now it's kind of become, I feel like, something everybody across the country knows. The amount of head coaches that started off in that Washington organization from the Mike Shanahan coaching tree. Everybody talks about, look at James Cook, rack up those yards. Michael, can you see? I need to know what his yards are now. Let's see where he is, because he may have already gone over. And I may just be
what did you get
good for the day. 47? Okay. I had over 69 and a half. Nice. So we still got a little while to go. But I also then bet rushing and receiving.
Was that 47 after that?
He's at 47 rushing. Yeah. Actually, that might not have updated. Make sure that's updated. Boom! Let's go!
Boom, baby.
James Cook. That was one of my favorite bets of the week right there. I mean, it's just they just give him the ball and he just runs.
Oh yeah, there it is. 7 rushes, 74 yards.
74. He's so good.
Well, so here's it. So
Josh Allen just did a shovel pass again. God.
So we were kind of thinking the same thing, right? Even if Kingsbury does not have, and Jaden Daniels, and they're all through a slow start, have this meteoric year, right? Mm-hmm. In some ways, that sometimes benefits a guy.
Yeah.
Because
he's back again. There you did. It's always one. It's always a fantasy or a bet the minute he comes in.
I mean, I wish I started Dalton Kincaid. I wish I would have drafted Dalton Kincaid.
The worst thing you could do is have fantasy regret. You're going to kill yourself just dealing with that.
You mean like starting Keon Coleman tonight?
Yeah, well, yeah. Yes. Give it time.
I don't think he's done. Oh,
there you go. Just like that.
Speaking of the devil,
just
there
like that. So
we got 9 yards.
You're
speaking
it into existence. Speaking it into existence.
But like, even if Kingsbury and the Commanders don't have this meteorically successful year like they did last year, right? Believe it or not, people don't realize this. I know you know this. The more success you have, sometimes the worse off you are if you're trying to get another head coaching job or a head coaching job because of the rules in place. Even though they've tried to massage and restrict and whatever, you still can't meet with a team in person.
Yeah.
You still can't meet with a team in person until you're eliminated. You can meet virtually, but not with a team in person. I believe unless you have the bye week, meaning you're the 1 seed.
Yeah, then you can during that bye week, right? Yeah.
Right, I believe you can.
Well, now everybody's so used to meeting over Zoom or Google Meet
or
anything.
But
but it's not the same.
It's different.
Yeah, this is different than us talking in 2 remote studios.
Absolutely.
It's always the case.
Absolutely.
I hate the remote stuff. Like, I'd much rather be sitting in, on a set, on a studio with people. I'd always rather have that. But so much of everything now is remote across the board,
and obviously
we had not just our industry, but everything.
We had to get used to that in COVID and all that stuff. But I think they also look at that as, quite honestly, a way to save money.
Yeah.
And with the digital technology that's available, it's more than passable, acceptable,
This studio that I built in here, not that expensive.
Yeah.
Not that expensive. And it's all a write-off for the business.
It's interesting, though, because and I know we keep getting sidetracked. Like, I remember pre-COVID, I had to go up to. Do you remember when I was going up to New York City almost every weekend to work for CBS Sports Radio?
I do remember that.
I had to take a bus or a train every weekend.
I remember you talking to me about that, and I was like, because I mean, when I was on Fox Sports Radio, I would just do it all remote,
right,
from DC studios,
right. and that
made you go up there for a while.
It was a disaster.
Oh, that's
right?
so tough, man.
I mean, and they weren't paying for anything.
Oh, it's so tough.
It was so hard on the body, so mentally exhausting, what have you. But then COVID hits, right? And then everybody's got to do remote shows.
Yep.
And then they figure out, oh, wait a second. Yeah, we'd love everybody to be in studio, and it would be great if we could do everything the way we wanted to.
Right.
But this works, and this saves money, and this saves commuting, and this saves, and every situation is different. But I agree with you. Like, being able to look at you and talk to you
there's no
is way
delays.
different.
There's none of any of that. So for a head coach to go and have a meeting, you're still like, you're doing a presentation on their offense, but you've got to share your screen. And what if your Wi-Fi is acting up or whatever?
But there's also a difference between being able to have a cocktail with somebody, right? Yeah. Or a meal, and being able to talk to them about life and philosophy or whatever, as opposed to 6 people shouting questions on Zoom.
I have had meetings over the last few months with people that are DC based, and they've said, "Hey, do you want to talk over Zoom or Google Meet, or do you want to meet up in person?" Every time I'm driving to meet up with them, every time, because any conversation that people have, like, people still want face to face. People still, and as technology gives us more and more freedom, it's great. I use AI every day for a million different things, but I also like actually hanging out with people.
Yeah,
like. There's a certain point where people still want that. Right. So it does still affect just whether it's a coaching interview or it's a presentation someone's doing or it's a show so it's so much better being able to do this, but you still are grateful that you can have all these options to be able to do it. So it's a lot better. So yeah, I'm with you on that, like the way the coaching situation goes though, where it's definitely complicated.
And somebody that, like if McDaniel gets fired midway through this year, let's just say, or maybe it's early December.
This game, I'll tell you what though, if they stay close, this is a standalone game right now for the Dolphins. Only down a touchdown with 8 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, it could get ugly.
It could, but this helps Josh. This helps Mike McDaniel at least. Like, it gives a bright spotlight on what he can do as a head coach, and I think keeps him there a little bit longer. If this is like, the Dolphins don't have to win this. I think if they look competitive and they cover, then it's at least something where you don't see him fired after this. They get their ass kicked tonight, he could be fired on the flight home.
Yeah, I don't think it would happen that early if this game gets ugly.
Though, and you got to think too, though, there's a lot of disruption around this team.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff around Tyreek Hill and drama, and whether him not being captain, him wanting out at the end of all this stuff has made it that much more complicated.
Well, but if I'm not mistaken, right? Was McDaniel the head coach when they made the trade for Tyreek? Yes. I think he had just become the head coach.
They went all in once they got him. Right. They wanted their offense.
And they had immediate success.
They did.
Right?
Well, listen, nobody knew what that offense
to blame
would look
Mike
like
McDaniel for Tyreek Hill being, constantly in TMZ, having more appearances in TMZ than he has in the end zone.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it's like now too, when you hear teams are, the Dolphins aren't trying to trade Tyreek Hill. No, teams don't want him right now. Unless the Dolphins
maybe
are
Kansas City, who's been
pick.
Mentioned. I mean,
they have the obvious tie-in is that he'd go right back there, and that culture maybe would kind of keep him focused a little bit more. But look at James Cook just breaking tackles. Didn't get very far. He's a strong runner, man. Thanks for the over. Did I just hear that? I know. I told you. Stay away from the over on Thursday night games. Although it didn't feel good to start. I will be mad, though, if the Dolphins do finish with 7 points in the first half.
Well, and that's what I told you when you started talking about it.
It was too low of a number because I was not willing to take the over, but I wasn't it was just one of those numbers you just stay
Some
away.
Teams with that first scripted drive, right? They can execute bing, bang, boom, boom,
and that's a good point.
And then all of a sudden the game settles down. Sure.
Remember, the Dolphins also started off with a 50.
Yep.
I mean, they had a great return, couple of shorter fields, getting after Josh Allen there, though.
I mean, that's Bradley Chubb, right?
Yeah.
That was another deal that they made a couple of years ago. Yep. That hasn't quite really kind of worked out.
How many defensive linemen did they cycle through last year? They were signing guys left and right just for the playoffs.
I know.
I mean, jeez. So, yeah, I mean, the Dolphins are a team, though, that when you watch them, you see a lot of that talent that's there. And I think that's why the expectations have certainly been where they've been for this team the last few years, even with some of the drop-off, is that, like, you see those weapons. You see, like, at any moment, they could have a breakout game, right?
Well, they paid their defensive tackle, what's his name, Seiler?
Oh, yeah. Good.
I mean,
good God, that thing hooked. I was just about to say, somebody in here has hit off the tee that way before. Oh, man. That was a brutal miss for the Bills. So that's a big break now for the Dolphins.
It doesn't even look that windy in Buffalo.
No,
tonight,
that was
right?
just a shank.
I mean,
complete
so
shank.
You can't attribute it to that.
No, it's not the wind in Buffalo, that's for sure. Have you ever been in that? You probably have the lake effect snow.
Oh, God.
What is that like? Because I've only seen it from afar. I mean, I've been in blizzards. I've been in Snowmageddon.
Yeah.
But I've never
you've been in the Swiss Alps too.
No, I've never been in the Swiss Alps. One of the best, longest running bits ever. And this is so like local for us. This is DC based. But when you convinced people at the fan at the time that I was actually in the Swiss Alps.
Ooh, that was bad.
That was bad. I mean, he just completely shanked it. That thing just laces out, Dan.
Yeah, man. Because what I guess I don't know why, but like
it was Cakes from the Junkies that came up to me.
I would just make fun of you for always taking like these exotic vacations, right? And then just in the process of doing bits, I'd be like, you were in.
It's always the Swiss Alps.
Right,
it's become the Swiss Alps.
So the Swiss Alps became the thing, right?
It did.
And I don't know why I chose that, but that's just what I chose.
I don't know why your brain works the way that it does a lot of times.
I don't know why my brain works the way it works, but I would say that so much that literally, Cakes from the Junkies heard it once or twice or maybe more than that. I don't know. And once asked you what?
How the Swiss Alps was. He was like, how was your trip to the Swiss Alps? And I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a bit, like you thought your car was stolen by someone at work. And I was like, oh, no, he's serious. Like, no, I didn't actually go there. He's like, oh, I thought you really did. I was like, Chris Russell is a liar. Don't listen to any of the shit he says.
A rat
Nothing.
bastard.
He is a liar. I'd like to go. I'd love to go snowboarding there. It'd be great.
I mean, let's call it like it is. You are no stranger to fun exotic vacations.
Well, we also don't have kids, so we're allowed to travel a lot more because there's no responsibility there.
Exactly. Poor Dewey.
Well, listen. The best thing is Dewey is so easy to watch that people will volunteer to watch her because she just wants to hang out and lay on your lap. I'm surprised she hasn't jumped in your lap yet.
She has come to see me.
She is definitely walking up like, hey, so when are we hanging out?
Yeah, or when are you
going to give me more food? Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, she's had enough food. She's actually on a very strict diet.
Oh.
Yeah.
How old is she?
7.
7. Okay.
7. So yeah, she's she's got to get lots of walks. She got a little too hefty for a while. So we, it was all those picks last year. She started off 6-0, so we need the.
That's a lot of Frito scoops or whatever.
Last year, actually, Lindsay got overzealous and actually would bake dog treats in the shape of footballs with the team logos on them.
Really?
And I said, we don't need to do all that. Let's stick to this and keep it.
She must have heard you talking about her because
she's sitting right down there. She knows.
Yeah.
Did the Dolphins score again before halftime? 4 minutes to go.
Where are they at? The 42, their own 42-yard line?
And I just score, not touchdown score.
I'm going to say field goal. I'm going to say field goal, no touchdown.
It feels like this is going to be, again, that 9.5 was sharp. That 9.5 for their team total first half was sharp. I think they get in field goal range here, and this is like 14-10 at halftime.
All right, so now help me out, right?
All right.
Because you are much more into the gambling lingo and terminology. When you say that 9.5 was sharp, are you saying that sharp bettors knew
I'm
that?
Saying that
That
was a very good number. The odds makers knew exactly where they were setting that. Now it moved a little bit too, so it was bet down because people were betting the under, but still.
Which is something that I think people, always get confused by, right? Mm-hmm. Is the odds makers could set the Commanders are 3.
Oh! Devon Achane just got rocked. Wow. Oh, my God. Thompson blew him up. That was one of those hang your receiver because that's hanging your receiver out to dry, and he just, oh, my God. I want this. I hate when they do it. I don't want even the replay in slow motion. I want the full speed smack. Look at that.
Well, part of the problem
Bad
though
block.
too is
Yep,
30
bad block.
misses his block.
Bad block.
Is that Ingold? They're really good fullback.
Yeah, I think that was Ingold.
I think that's
Yeah,
Ingold.
yeah.
But
God,
I mean, and maybe because it's a third or fourth progression.
Oh, they're coming after Tua.
Tyreek's down there somewhere.
Oh,
And there he is.
great job.
You spoke it into existence.
All right, so now they have 1st and 10.
Yeah, right.
Now they have 1st and 10 at the 40, and they have had 4 timeouts. So I would almost say, like at this point, even though it's not a guarantee, right? With time being no factor at all, because you have the 2-minute warning and you have 3 timeouts.
Yep.
This is a possession now that you have to score a touchdown.
You
whereas,
go for the end
whereas
zone here.
a couple of plays ago, before the H-N blew up, right at their own 40, I was like, all right, that's good field position, but maybe you get a field goal out of that and feel good going into the half. This is now a possession where you got to score a touchdown.
And this is the dangerous thing about the Dolphins offense is that they do have guys that can make these plays in those moments. At any given moment, Tyreek Hill is downfield, and you get these opportunities where they flip the field, and all of a sudden you're looking and going, oh, they can make this, like, this could be a tie game at halftime if they can get in the end zone, which I'll tell you what, if Miami, after everything this week in the short week, to put themselves in the locker room tied at 14 with the Bills in Buffalo, you got to feel damn good. But I'll tell you this, here's what I will say, bet the Bills in the second half.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I think if this game is tied at half, even the fact that this is close, I think the Bills come out pissed off in the second half.
I agree. I mean, at home, they crushed the Jets.
Yep.
They didn't have to sweat it out.
Yes.
The Dolphins obviously played a full game down in Miami, lost, but had to go toe-to-toe with New England and came up short, right? And you never know, like, what the humidity down there, what that takes out of you, all that stuff, right? I would agree with you. Everybody's going to be like, oh, if they go in at 14-14, look at the Dolphins. They're dangerous, this, that, and the other thing. And you're right. The Bills probably come out and put a 21 burger on them and win 35-14.
Right. Which would put it at 49. So that would still be good. 35-14 is fine. Under 50.5, we're good.
All right, there you go.
So we're still in a good spot.
My dream scenario
if you could speak the under into existence, that would be good. I'd like a good, solid, unbeaten night tonight.
Now, how much are you betting on these games? I gotta know.
I'm not one of those people that throws hundreds of dollars on bets.
About $98?
No, God, no. Listen, I have done that before, but I prefer to keep it. I prefer to keep it fun. I don't want to get to the point where my wife wants to kill me. That's what I've learned. Because Tony back there keeps talking about betting the over and losing. His wife's sitting right next to him. And then all of a sudden, she's like, hey, how about you stop? And he goes, also, I signed up for something. He signed up for something with the NFL package that he didn't even know what it was. Your money decisions are hilarious. A few beers and you forgot what you ordered, but you got some NFL Plus package. But it was through Roku, right?
It's been
I don't even have Roku. I don't know why I ordered it.
Yeah, that's Roku.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean,
nothing like drunk purchases for people.
It's been a long 56 years since the Jets won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's been a very long time.
A long time.
It is very true.
What is Richard Sherman doing?
He's just dancing. It's a little salsa. I actually really like the group they've got for this pre and post game halftime.
It's okay.
Yeah,
it's all right. I'm never that impressed by any of these groups.
Yeah.
I want to like them, but like, I don't know. I think it's too much sometimes, and I would like,
it's hard to make them all fun.
Yeah, but I would like less players, more personality.
Yeah.
I know they're trying to find the ex-players that have the personalities.
Right.
And Richard Sherman certainly does.
He's really good on TV.
Whitworth I've had on a couple of times. I think he's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I don't know what Tony Gonzalez really brings. He's all right. He's fine. Carissa Thompson does a good job. It's not a bad show by any means.
Yeah.
I just never watch for that.
Right.
I'm usually not paying attention. I have a hard enough time paying attention during a game. Never mind watching pregame, halftime, and postgame.
Right.
Now it'll be on in the background, but I'll be doing things.
Of course.
You've
got lots of things to do.
I got lots of things
You're
to do.
busy.
I've got lots of boxes and bags.
We haven't even done that
No, we
yet.
haven't. We haven't. I have it in my car.
Usually we stream up till halftime, but I don't know. We might have to.
Well, I mean, then you're going to have to let me go at halftime so that I can.
I know.
I can go get the stuff.
Well, we can. Well, halftime we eat the food that's back there.
Oh, okay.
Halftime.
I don't even know where my car keys are.
Oh no! Should we? Let's steal his car. That would be great.
I might have left my keys in the car.
You might have.
And if I did, I'm screwed.
No way. You didn't. Your car's not locked. You're not gonna.
I don't think so.
Tyreek with the first down, but I am distracted now by the fact that
I was in such a rush to get into the GameDay Garage.
If you locked your keys in the car,
I might have to sleep here tonight.
Well, we got space. You're fine. We got some guest rooms for you. You'll be good. You might be staying over tonight.
Having coffee tomorrow morning.
You can do your show tomorrow from my studio upstairs. You'll be fine if you're here. We'll just text CK and be like, "Look, I'm stuck here."
I've got the day off tomorrow. Actually.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because,
well, then
you know why?
You're traveling, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, you know why though?
Why?
I turned 52.
Tomorrow?
It's my birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday! Happy early birthday, my friend. Yeah.
And 52 means I'm getting pathetically old.
No. It's a bad mindset.
How old are you?
Me?
Yeah.
I am 38.
Are you being serious or
38?
My goodness. And I mean, look at that handsomely coiffed beard.
And you know what? While we're on this topic, Michael knows exactly where I'm going with this. It's about aftershave and moisturizer on your face. Don't be afraid as a guy to use it. Don't be afraid. I have been scoffed at for 2 weeks. All of this, no aftershave, clean up real nice, smooth. Don't be afraid. Guys should not be afraid to use. It maybe, but you think of aftershave as like the old school, like liquidy, like oily stuff. Yeah, none of that. It's not the Home Alone. Nobody does that. It's all guys should not be afraid to moisturize.
So here's what I wanted to ask you, because obviously I am a little unkempt.
This is a very informal show, as I think you've learned.
But how do you get the beard line like perfectly shaped? Like, I mean,
we'd like to thank Harry's Razors for this,
you
because
go.
Harry's Razors happens to have a little liner on the bottom.
Ooh.
It's got a little straight blade, and you just edge it, and then boom. That's how you do it.
So you use the same razor to do like everything, right? You don't use two.
Yeah.
So I use an electric. I use an electric razor. It's not.
If you're doing the whole face, that's different. You can't edge with like an electric razor.
Right.
You should use Harry's Razors,
Right.
and then that would be a different story.
I just can never get it exactly the way I want it. And Danny Rouillet have
got a
two
great
of the
beard.
most perfectly
got a great
manicured beards.
Great beard. It
I mean,
takes
it's just
effort.
unbelievable.
It takes effort and it takes focus. I shaved yesterday, so I let it go a little today. But yeah, you just gotta have the straight edge on one side, and then you got the regular blades on the other. And then, but it's also, this takes practice, because you got edges and stuff.
Right.
I've had the mistakes. I've gone a little too far, and then it's oops.
And you've got to do like the north
just a little
bound
here,
side and the southbound
I've always
side, right?
but I've always wanted to get the actual, like, they have like I guess stencil would be the right word, where you can put it on your face and just use it to to guide you.
Kidding.
I've never done that. Freehanded.
Okay.
But it's just it helps a lot when you just got one blade, you flip it. There you go. That's all I gotta do.
There you go.
And then you use aftershave.
I mean, I've never been opposed to using any kind of like aftershave or facial lotion or whatever.
There you go. He uses aftershave.
Now what I do a terrible job of is washing my face at night.
Oh, that's like basic hygiene, man.
No.
Oh, look at Tua running. Look at Tua running for his life and sliding.
I mean,
I know. I think about that on Thursday night last year.
Basic hygiene. Basic hygiene is brushing your teeth
and washing your face.
No,
it's like you have to wash your face
because you get all the oil and all that stuff.
They just dirty and greasy. Everybody gets dirty and greasy.
I guess. I mean, but
at least you brush your teeth.
It almost feels like you're swallowing soap. Like how do you do it? Like right.
You just rinse your face off. You just water, or just do it in the shower.
There's too many damn things to do. Well, I take a shower in the morning.
Yeah.
Right?
But you could still...
Sometimes on sweaty days, you might take a second shower.
Here's a hack for you. Go turn on the shower, wash your face, splash the shower water just on your face at the end of the day. You're welcome.
I mean, my dentist tells me to take my water pick. Do you use one of those?
No, but people swear by them.
Right. Well, I don't know if I
awesome.
swear by them, but they say take it into the shower, and I'm like, no.
You want to know? You want to know a secret about flossing? I was actually at the dentist today. Lindsay, my wife, flosses religiously. I don't do it. I just forget. Like I forget to do it. Perfect. No issues. And she gets so mad because I never get told to floss. And I don't floss. I don't do it by accident. Like I just do it because I just forget. But you know what?
But you brush your teeth twice a day, right?
Yeah, at least.
Okay.
Yeah. But the flossing didn't get yelled at by my dentist for it.
Attaboy.
I was good.
I can't say the same thing for me. I get yelled at all the time.
So again, it's flossing. It's not brushing. Apparently, is enough because I'm good with it.
No.
So we went to the same dentist and she flossed. So I'm just saying. I will say this. I know. Apparently, there's some reason. I don't understand why when you're at the dentist, you gotta talk to you. Why are you talking to me? Like, I apparently there's some reason. Like they asking me questions. Like, what do you want from me? I got nothing for you. I got things like in my mouth. Pause. They're just. I think
it was.
What's that? What game am I talking about? It's about a different game. Yes, the dentist where things go in your mouth. There's that thing.
It's a good use of pause, right?
It is. Oh, absolutely. I needed a pause. I knew Brian would catch it. Brian will definitely catch it. You say something, he's the first to jump on you. For at least 1 or 2 good zings a night.
All right, so the Dolphins have 1 timeout left, right? 17 seconds left, 3rd and 3. I mean, so you have – I mean, you could do whatever you want here. I assume a short, quick pass, right?
I think you at least try to get yourself – I mean – well, yeah, listen, I say go for the end zone here. You got 17 seconds to go. Go for the end zone, and then you've got a field goal as a backup here. But if you can get the first down and get this quick. All right, so Tyreek's got the first, gets out of bounds. That is great execution by the Dolphins.
Yeah, that's ideal. Even though he could have probably stretched out for the touchdown, maybe gotten it in. He gets out of bounds. You stop the clock. Don't use your final timeout. So you can run the ball now.
Perfect.
You can throw the ball. Whatever you want to do. You want to do.
That was a picture perfect execution of that situation.
And I like the setup there from McDaniel, right? Because they had a triple bunch of wide receivers to the left of Tua, right? To the high, to the top side of the television, basically. Yeah. And they went backside to Tyreek Hill. So they had 3 receivers to the left like they do now.
Yep, they're doing it again. And Tyreek's in the end zone.
But no, that's
Waddle.
So they had the same formation, 3 at the top, 1, but then they had Tyreek on the left side and Waddle isolated on the right side.
Yeah. And listen, that's the upside.
That's Mike
of the
McDaniel right there.
And that's again my point is he's a brilliant offensive mind. But it just may not translate to head coach. That may be again, you can see what this Dolphins offense can do. They've given him the weapons. We've seen the peak of them. It's just them being able to put things together. And some of it, too, is they've had a lot of issues defensively for years. Some of it's injuries. Some of it's they can't beat playoff teams. Some of it's they can't play in cold weather. Like, a lot of factors that come into this that aren't all on Mike McDaniel. But when it comes to great schemes, like we're watching the replay here now offensively, the way that they moved down the field to be able to get in the end zone and still even save a timeout. They didn't even need it. That was beautiful by the Dolphins.
And that slant to Waddle, again, to Tua's right, is his first read. You can see his eyes immediately take him there. The throw, like you said, across body as he's rolling to his left, across the middle of the field. Tyreek gets down right, or he makes a play right after that. That gets them, I think, right around the Bills' 40-yard line. Yep. That was the play that probably really kind of put the drive in full gear, if you will. And then the Dolphins, give them credit, because I took my eye off the game for a little bit while we were discussing dental floss and things in your mouth.
That is true.
Pause.
We did say that.
But they did a good job, obviously, like you said, managing the – now, they had plenty of time. And that's a key, too, right? As we said, like, they had 2 minutes and 20 seconds and basically 4 timeouts.
Yeah.
If you butcher that, that's really bad. But I've seen it butchered. I mean, I've seen, quite honestly, like Dan Quinn last week on Thursday night, just completely mismanaged the Commander situation at the end of the first half with the clock. It wasn't exactly but it was fairly close to that. They had
Right.
plenty of time, and they still managed to butcher it, kick a long field goal, miss it, give the Packers the ball, give them a shot at a chip shot field goal, and they got lucky because they missed it. But Dan Quinn butchered that. Didn't use the clock properly, whereas Mike McDaniel, they score and they kill pretty much all of the clock.
It was a brilliant first drive. The Bills are going to get the second half kickoff. So the Dolphins and Bills now go into halftime, and the Dolphins should feel damn good about what they did in this first half. They really should. We're tied at 14 now in a game where they were 11.5-point dogs, and that number was even worse before. They go over their team total, by the way, in the first half. Definitely glad I stayed away from that. 9.5 was too low.
I guess the Sharps didn't know what they were doing.
Listen, you stay away. You stay away from a number that low unless, well, really, you just look at that and probably take the over, and you have the upside of the Dolphins' offense and what it could do.
I mean, the Bills are missing Ed Oliver and Matt Milano in this game. So that is a fact.
They are. So we'll see. I think the Bills come out strong and angry in the second half.
I'm going to go find my car keys.
Let's go find your keys, get some Cuban sandwiches and some buffalo chicken dip. It's halftime. Sounds good. All right.